Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the Video Game Design Challenge. This specific video is going to explain all the simple tools in the far left toolbar for the website Piskel. So this is the art making medium or software for the project. You're going to first go to your internet browser and go to Piskel, typing it in, spelling it P-I-S-K-E-L, app.com. Once you have typed that in and found that, you're going to go to the top right here and make sure you click sign in or log in. You'll sign in using Gmail. Don't create your own account. If you don't do this, you're not going to save your work, so make sure you do that. Then you're going to click create sprite. When you're creating your sprite, it's going to load, and you're going to have all these different options on the left toolbar here. Your job today is to explore and use each one and know what each one is and does, because it's just easier for you to explore it opposed to email me and say, hey, what does this do? So your screen is going to look like mine at the end of this, and you're going to take a photo of it and upload it to your daily participation form as always to show evidence that you've worked on this. So let's just go through each one of these tools. First one, pen tool. Take your pen, make a line. Then click the next pen size, make a line. And then take your next pen size and make a line. You can see that the stroke width is getting fatter or wider. So explore and try one of those. Try some of those. This vertical mirror tool. Whatever you draw on the left side recreates it on the right side. Whatever you draw on the right side recreates it on the left side. So if you're creating a symmetrical image like a face or a person or something else, it saves you literally half the time. So I'd really recommend that. If you want to change the color of something, come down to the bottom left here, double click this, and you can choose from a range of different color options. Now you can't just change it here. You have to also take this dot and move it to the top right to get that pure hue or that pure color that you want. Another option is to take this red and slide it to the left. You can see it's getting lighter and lighter and lighter until it turns eventually white. Or slide it to the bottom, lower and lower and lower until it eventually turns black. So that's how you get all your different ranges of values in there. So this is the paint bucket tool. This allows you to quickly fill in the color with a lot of, or real quickly. So if I click the background, it'll turn that all red. I'm going to hit Control-Z to undo that quickly. If I want to change this black area to red, I click that. It changes it to that. So if I wanted all these to be red, I could do that. Now here's a quick trick. Instead of doing this, see how I clicked all those? Okay, that took, took 10 seconds, but imagine if it was a lot more detailed. I'm going to undo all this. Oops. So paint all Piskels the same color. So if I click this and click this thing red, instead of just this one turning red, it turns everything that was that black red. So that's really helpful. I'd really recommend you do that if you have a really detailed image. So think about that. Eraser tool, just as it sounds, if I want to erase something, I can erase it here. If I have a lot to erase, I can erase it here. But there are other quick ways of erasing opposed to doing that. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to switch colors so you can kind of track my progress on what I'm doing. This is a stroke width tool. It allows me to create a line very quickly and easily straight. So as I click down, I can create a line here, and then when I let go with my mouse, it turns that into a crisp line. Now you could say, okay, well, I can just draw that with the pen tool. Sure, you can, but if you make a mistake accidentally, that's a pretty abrupt mistake. But if you make a mistake, it takes a lot more time. So this is really nice for drawing shapes that are geometric. So I recommend that tool heavily. This is a rectangular shape tool. It's like the line tool, except it makes rectangles. So you can create a rectangle very easily and quickly like such, kind of like the line segment tool. I just grab onto it, pull it around, and when I'm ready, let go. If I hold Shift, when I do this, it'll create a perfect square. So you don't have to like eyeball it and say, okay, is that actually a perfect square? If I hold Shift, it allows me to create a perfect square. So just keep that in mind as you're working. That's the same thing with this circle tool. Switch colors so it's easier to see the difference. Circle tool, again, I hold down, I stretch it wide, I stretch it tall. I can make a shape really quickly and easily. But if I want that circle to be proportionally exact, holding shift allows me to create a perfect circle. So this circle here, I'm holding shift, it is proportional. This hand tool allows me to move things around. If it's really messy, it's not real helpful, but if I click this, I can move things up, I can move things down, but notice how I can't like grab individually this oval or just this red thing here. Now here's a headache that I don't know a workaround of. If you drag this to the side, let go, and then come back and grab it, look what it does. It deleted my image. So if I bring this red up to the top, let go, bring it down, it goes away. So that's why it's really helpful to hit Control Z and undo any mistakes that you might have done. All right, these three tools all do the same thing, but in slightly different ways. This is a shape selection tool. If I click this, it allows me to grab or select things specifically. So I click the background, it selected the entire background, whatever was touching itself. If I click this green, you see it got lighter in color, it just grabs the green. If I click here, it'll grab just the blue. So it grabs things that are touching each other. So it allows you to very quickly either hit Control X to cut something, so you can see that that went away, or quickly paste something. This is the same thing, but it's just in a rectangular shape. So I can go like this quickly and grab all those things and cut them. So maybe a little bit quicker than this. And this is more for organic shapes. Let's say I wanted to trace carefully around this oval. So I'm going around this carefully, try not to grab anything but that oval. And when I come back up to the top, it contains itself with that shape, and then I can quickly cut it and do whatever I want with it. So that's those three selection tools all do the same thing. For this next thing, I'm going to fill in a little bit more solid so it's a little bit easier to see what this object option actually does. This lightning tool is really helpful in allowing your shapes to have a little bit more texture. If you look carefully at that, it's giving you kind of a range of tints here. It's giving your shape a little bit more texture. Let's switch to a darker color. Hopefully you can see it a little bit better if I go to a darker color. So if I fill in this background here and then grab it, you can see that this blue is changing each pixel. And if I hold it down on one area and just kind of keep scribbling, you can see it gets really, really, really light or really white. It just creates a really nice range of color. Color picker tool. Let's say, oh shoot, I need to get that green again. I don't know what color that was. Instead of trying to match it, just come down here and click right there. It automatically quickly creates that exact same green that you can then switch to a pen tool and draw, click to a paint bucket fill tool and fill, or whatever you want with that. So that allows you to create, really quickly find those colors. Now technically you can go over here to the right, the palettes here, and explore those, but that's a quick, I think a little bit quicker than trying to look through all these and try to find it. If you want to have multiple colors here, just ready to go, quick draw, you can double click here, select the color that you want, and then swap it. Hit swap, it changes that color. So now that color here is this kind of light maroon. If you want to swap back, I'm back to that green. So that's how you use those tools there. So today's goal is to use every single one of these different tools and things on the left toolbar here. Be proficient with it. You don't have to be a master of it, but try all these different things. Once you're done, you're going to take a screen capture of this and upload it to your daily participation forum. So I hit Control Shift Windows key. My screen goes dark. I draw a box around it, and then automatically in the top right of my screen, I get my screenshot taken option here. And then I go into the daily participation forum. I explain what I did today. I'll say I used all the tools in the toolbar and explored the different options on here, and then upload this photo as evidence of that being done. Today's goal is to not do anything for your actual Piscal assignment. It's just to try all of these different features on the far left. So as always, I hope that was helpful. I'm available for office hours daily, 1 to 2 p.m. And don't hesitate to email me if you have any questions as well. Hope that was helpful. Have a great day and be creative.